When I've taught group piano seminars, I always start by asking, how many of you have taken piano lessons in the past? And usually a majority of students raise their hand. Maybe you took piano lessons years ago and even made some good progress. But for whatever reason, you let it go. Life just got in the way. But now you find yourself with a little more time and you want to get back to playing again. So you sit down at the piano and it just feels foreign. You can almost remember the music flowing from your fingertips, but now you feel like a total beginner again. A simple scale is clumsy. That song you once played by heart is like a ghost in your memory, and the few notes you managed to find sound clunky and hesitant. You begin to feel this sense of frustration, feeling like, I don't sound like I used to. And that's enough to make you close the piano lid, or in some cases turn off the keyboard, and walk away for good. But what if I told you that all of that skill, that muscle memory, that musicality, it's not gone, it's just sleeping. So in this video, I'm not just going to prove it to you, I'm going to show you how to gently wake it up. All those things, without the pressure and without the frustration. Let's swap that feeling of failure and regret for the quiet joy of rediscovery. The very first thing we need to fix has nothing at all to do with your fingers. It's all in your head. The single biggest obstacle for any returning adult pianist is the sheer emotional weight of it all. You're not just relearning notes. In a sense, you're wrestling with the ghost of your former self. You're mourning a level of skill you once had, and every mistake feels like proof that you've lost that skill. It's gone forever. But here's the truth. You're not starting over. You are rebuilding. Think of it this way. A true beginner is like someone building a house on an empty plot of land. They have to survey the area, pour a foundation, frame the walls, and even figure out what a roof is. But you took lessons. You learned. You already have a house. Sure, maybe it's been a few years. The windows are dusty, the plumbing is a little rusty, and the garden is overgrown. But the foundation is solid. The structure is still there. Your job isn't to build from scratch, but it's to walk back into that house, throw open the windows, and patiently bring the life back into the space. Your old knowledge of music theory and chords and whatever, your ear for melody, the muscle memory your fingers had, it's all still tucked away in your brain. It might take a moment to access it, but it's infinitely faster than learning it all for the very first time. The journey back to playing again, it isn't about regaining what you lost overnight, but it's about reconnecting with the musician you already are. Let this be your mantra, if you like. I'm not behind. I'm in a rebuilding phase. And this gives you permission to be exactly where you are right now and practice in a way that's compassionate and actually works. Let's talk a little bit about motivation. When you come back to the piano after years away, you often hit a predictable cycle. There's the honeymoon phase, that initial excitement of buying a keyboard or dusting off the old family piano. But then comes the dip. This is where reality sets in. Progress feels agonizingly slow, and that frustration we talked about kicks in hard. A lot of people quit right here. But if you can push through, you enter the rebuilding phase, where your motivation becomes much more grounded and sustainable. To survive that dip, you need a powerful anchor. You have to reconnect with your why. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Why do you really want to play again? No generic answers, just dig a little deeper. Do you want to play again for the simple private joy of making music just for yourself? Well, that's great. Is there a specific song? You know, a Billy Joel song, an Elton John song, a great standard, some song that you've always dreamed of playing. That's a great motivation. Do you want to share music with your family? That's wonderful. Do you just miss the feeling of having a creative outlet? Your why is the fuel that will get you through the days when you don't feel like practicing. It's the reason you'll choose to sit down for just 10 minutes, even when you're exhausted. Motivation based on something vague like, I just want to get good again, well, that motivation is fragile. It shatters the first time you have a bad practice session. But motivation based on a love for the process or a connection to a specific feeling or a song, that's resilient. I would encourage you to write your why down and put it on a sticky note on your piano. It will be, in a sense, your North Star. It will guide you on this journey. So how do you actually start playing again without getting totally overwhelmed? Well, the key is a gentle, strategic approach. So I want to give you 4 things to try if you're just getting started, if it's your first week back at the keys. First of all, start with the familiar. Now, your first instinct might be to tackle that ambitious song that you've always wanted to learn. Well, maybe instead pick a piece or song that you used to play pretty well, even if it feels way too simple now. And you'll be amazed at how much your brain and your fingers remember. The pathways are still there, they just need a little nudge. Playing an old favorite, even if it's imperfect, gives you an immediate win. It proves to you that your skill isn't gone, and that can be a massive confidence boost that builds momentum from the very first day. You don't need to launch into hours of grueling exercises. In fact, you probably shouldn't. Instead, just spend a few minutes each day reestablishing your physical connection to the instrument. Play some simple major scales. Play some basic chords. Take your time. Some simple 5-finger things like this, just don't worry about speed. Just focus on the feeling of the keys under your fingers. Notice your hand shape. Your hands are not flat like this, but your fingers are curved. And listen for an even, balanced tone. Things like this, they're not just boring drills. This is you saying hello to the piano again. You're rebuilding dexterity, reminding your hands of what they're supposed to do. And this leads into my next tip for you. Remember that slow is your superpower. Now, as an adult, your brain moves fast, and naturally you expect your fingers to just keep up. But that can be a trap. That can cause frustration. Slow practice isn't a punishment. It's not a step backward. It's the single most effective tool for rebuilding control, accuracy, and confidence. When you play slowly, you give your brain time to process the notes and send clear signals to your fingers. You'll get rid of that feeling of panic, and you'll stop practicing mistakes. If you find yourself stumbling through part of a song, it means your tempo's too fast. Slow it down to a speed where you can play it perfectly, then, and only then, gradually speed it up. Slow practice is the bedrock upon which all future speed and fluency is built. Now here's another secret from the pros that I've talked about in previous videos, but it's perfect for you as a returning player. When you revisit an old song, Maybe don't play it from the beginning, but find the hardest part, that tricky run or a complex chord change that maybe it used to trip you up, and isolate just those one or two measures. Work on them slowly, maybe hands separately, until they feel comfortable. Then work your way outward, adding the measure before and the measure after. This is just a smarter way to practice. Instead of endlessly repeating the easy parts you already know, you're directly targeting the weakness, turning it into a strength, and rebuilding the song or the piece from its most challenging spot. Let's talk about the psychology of practice, how to stick with it. It feels really great when you make progress in 1 week, but what about sticking with it for months, or even for years? That's a different game. The joy of a returning pianist is a marathon, not a sprint, and you need the right mindset to stay the course. So here are 3 effective strategies you can employ as you rediscover the joy of making music. Now, there will be days when you're busy, you're tired, and you have zero motivation. And on those days, the thought of a full practice session, an hour at the piano, it feels impossible. So don't do it. Instead, make a deal with yourself. Just practice for 10 minutes. Set a timer. You can find 10 minutes. And here's the magic part. More often than not, once you start, you'll want to keep going. But even if you don't, that's fine. A 10-minute practice that happens is infinitely better than a perfect 1-hour session that never starts. Consistency beats intensity every single time. And I know this from experience, by the way. A lot of times I didn't feel like practicing. I gave myself a few minutes. Once I got started, I kept going. Another strategy is to celebrate the small wins. As a returning player, you can't measure success by comparing yourself to who you were 10 years ago. That's a recipe for discouragement. I would encourage you to shift your focus to tracking your progress right now. You can even keep a practice journal. At the end of a practice session, write down one small thing you accomplished. Maybe you smoothed out a single measure. Maybe you played a scale a little more evenly. Or maybe you just managed to practice for 10 minutes on a crazy day. And I would also encourage you to record yourself. We all have cameras on our phones nowadays. Record yourself playing, even if it's just 30 seconds of a song. And then a week from now or a month from now, listen back, and you'll be amazed at the improvement. Seeing that tangible evidence of progress is what builds real, lasting motivation. And here's the third strategy I want to share with you, and this one might be a bit surprising, but give yourself permission to take a break without feeling guilty. Unfortunately, we live in this always-on culture. We feel like any day off is a failure. But with a creative skill like playing the piano, rest isn't laziness. It's part of the process. If you begin to feel burnt out, taking a day or two away from the piano can be one of the best things for you. Why? Well, your brain will continue to process things in the background. And when you come back, you'll often find that things suddenly feel clearer and easier. This is a lifelong relationship you're building. Be patient, be kind, and allow for the natural ebb and flow of progress. If this more sustainable approach to the piano resonates with you, make sure to subscribe for more videos designed specifically for adult learners. I've got a question for you. What is the one piece or song that you are most excited to play again? Let me know down in the comment section. Putting that goal out there is a powerful step toward making it happen. Returning to the piano as an adult is a completely different journey. It's less about raw ambition and more about rediscovery. It's about letting go of the regret and the pressure of who you used to be and embracing the musician you are today. Just remember the big ideas that we've talked about in this video. You're not starting from scratch. You're rebuilding. You have a huge head start. Be sure to anchor yourself in your personal why and be gentle and strategic with your practice. Use familiar music to start with. Practice slowly. And finally, build a practice that lasts by showing up consistently, even for a few minutes, and celebrate every small victory along the way. Remember, you are not a beginner. You are a musician reconnecting with a part of yourself that's been waiting patiently for you to come back. The goal isn't to perfectly recreate the past. It's to build a new, more joyful, and more meaningful musical future, one note at a time. So now, go wake up those sleeping skills.